For 3 days, 20 of Survivor Lake Fork's biggest heroes and most notorious villains have been battling in the most difficult, unpredictable season yet. On night 1, 3 double eliminations in a row sent 6 legends to a secret underworld.
How'd you go?
Oh, I'm so hungry for revenge now, you have no idea.
Where they began a parallel game of redemption and set their sights on revenge. And the chaos didn't stop there. Facing defeat after defeat, the demoralized villains tribe was forced to cannibalize itself, while a powerful trio called the Middlemen, consisting of Brittany, Davis, and Steven, found itself on top. But everyone loves a good comeback story, and the villains soon found themselves with newfound luck, causing the heroes to dwindle, until only 5 remained. The powerful Chili Socks Alliance of Garrison, Taylor, Drew, Paige, and Lauren. When it looked like the merge was finally on the horizon, another twist shook up the game. It was revealed that for 2 days, players on the secret Themis tribe had been fighting for their lives.
With that, it is time to vote.
Wait, we're not ready.
We are not ready.
And after stealthily controlling the outcome of 8 eliminations, dynamic duo Crystal and Asia, the first and second players voted out of the game, returned to the game with a vengeance. But in a shocking tribe swap, Crystal was immediately voted out, and Garrison was the casualty of Davis's Diamond Idol, leaving Asia as the lone returner and the Chili Socks Alliance without their leader. Entering the merge with 5 heroes and 5 villains, a rock draw looked inevitable. However, Erin, on the bottom of the villains, tried to earn goodwill with the heroes, but it backfired, and the heroes sent her to the jury. Now with a 5-4 majority, the heroes were set to steamroll, but Asia, having previously been voted out by every single hero left in the game, got her revenge. She secretly flipped on her alliance, sending Paige home and breaking the game wide open. With alliances destroyed, the game became a free-for-all, and players began to hunt big threats to add moves to their resumes. Now, only 5 remain. Asia, the phoenix who rose from the ashes. After being voted out at the heroes' first tribal council on night 1, Asia swore to return to the game and get revenge. And revenge she got. Flipping on the heroes at the crucial final 9 vote, Asia eliminated power player after power player and steered the game in her direction, voting correctly at every tribal council since her big move. But can her flashy gameplay overcome her tarnished reputation of being the first boot? Brittany, the villainess who dominated the game with her Middlemen alliance. She's been a massive target since the merge, and after losing her other 2 middlemen, she's got nowhere to hide. Now that this middleman is top dog, can she manipulate her way to the victory? Lauren, the wolf in sheep's clothing. She's backstabbed ally after ally with a smile on her face, proving that heroes can play dirty too. But her biggest hurdle is her perception. Can she prove that she's played a game worthy of the win? Lizzie, the secret weapon who positioned herself perfectly in the middle on every vote. With her partner in crime, Steven, Lizzie swung back and forth, flipping on allies until it was time to flip on Steven too. Can Lizzie's under-the-radar puppeteering net her the victory? Or will it be Drew, the last man standing? Coming into the game, Drew knew he had to refrain from the fast-paced, chaotic, idol-stealing, tree-climbing game he played last time, so he laid low, saving himself with his impeccable social game time after time.
And I feel like we've worked together, but if you feel like you and Lizzie would work together better, then you should work with Lizzie.
His increasing threat level has finally caught up to him. Armed with a hidden immunity idol, can he escape the web of the Black Widow Alliance? Find out tonight in the season finale.
Way better than last time. But hey, this is the finale. Exciting. This is wild.
We are in the finale, which is great. Let's go. Ooh, ooh. I think where we're sitting now is me, Lizzie, and Lauren. We need to band together to get out Asia and Drew. I think Asia and Drew are working together. If we sit here and think about everybody's best possibilities of winning, I think it's us 3 together. Like, I really do.
A girl?
Finally, this freaking game.
This will be the last one you can play.
There's just no way he does.
I'm worried he's cooking with him.
He does.
You think so? Like,
Unless one of us standing here has it. I think the issue is now, I saw some little sussy sus at the challenge at OTEB. Drew, when he like came on up, he was like, it's so weird, there's a ball down there with all these words on it.
And one of those has a million words on it. You see that purple one down there to the right? It's like wrapped in text. What on earth could it say?
And like in the moment I was like, ah. And then I think he said that and then went back down and got it. And it actually like had something on it. He has some sort of advantage in this game. But I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an idol. I don't know if it's like a clue to an idol. I don't know. I have literally no idea. But this next vote might be a wild one. Because I think this is the last time he can play it. And so I need to try to figure out what that is.
My honest concern is that I went with you guys to vote out the other guy. But it is easy for it to become girls versus guy.
that's what I'm like, I don't usually think that. Selfishly for me, if Brittany goes, everything that my alliance did on the villains, I get played.
Yeah. I'm an idiot, and during the challenge I said, wow, that ball looks like it has a lot of text on it. And Brittany heard me say it, and so she watched me pick it up. Unfortunately, Brittany knows that I have an idol, which she may use to leverage other people against me, but I would love to win, and I would love to use the 2 immunities I essentially have to save somebody else and guarantee that that person will work with me to get to the final 3. I think I would love a final 3 of me, Lizzie, and Deja. Let me trust you with a piece of information that, and I want to tell you this before you tell me that Brittany told you this, but I am curious if she told you. I have an idol for fun. Not from the woods. I have it from the ball game.
Drew just trusted me with a piece of information, and he says that he got a idol when we were playing the OTAV game. So now I have to go, do I believe that or not?
My intention was, I want to win this next one if I can. I want to keep the crown, and without people knowing, I want to be able to play the ball as like a trust piece.
Because since I know he's going to be here, right now all the girls are like, he's an easy out. But if I know, if I hedge my bets on that this is real, do I side with him knowing he's going to be here and try and flip someone else?
Come on in, guys. All right, y'all take a seat for one of the white roses. All right. Once again, immunity is back up for grabs. First things first, Drew, I will take it back. Thank you. Win this, and you guarantee a spot in the final 4. Here's how this challenge is going to work. On this clipboard, I have a grid. It is a 4x4 grid. Inside this grid, some boxes have X's and some don't. I'm going to briefly show you what this grid looks like, and then you will have a chance to recreate it on your board. For every correct box you get a point. For every incorrect box, you lose a point. Whoever has the lowest amount of points after each round is eliminated from the game. Last person standing wins immunity. Safe to vote when you start answering. First pattern. 3, 2, 1. Okay, Lizzie's done. Lauren's done. Brittany's done. Asia's done. Drew's done. Okay. Everyone reveal. This is the correct pattern. We have a tie for lowest between Drew and Lauren because Drew put his marker up last. He is out of this challenge. All right, everyone else reset your boards. All right, everyone ready for your second pattern? 3, 2, 1. Liz is done first. Then Lauren, then Asia. Brittany finishes last. All right, everyone reveal your boards. All right, with 4 points, Asia is out of the challenge. Moving on to the next pattern. This is a 5x5 grid. All right, ready for your third pattern. You may begin writing at any time. 4, 3, 2, 1. Markers up when you're done. Lizzie's finished first, then Lauren. All right, everyone reveal. Lauren is 13. 17 for Lizzie. Brittany's got 15. All right, with 13, Lauren is out of the challenge. For this final round, to add an element of challenge, you may not begin writing until I say go. Cool. Yep, hold your markers up. I'll tell you when you can begin writing. This again will be 4 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Brittany finishes first. Lizzie's finished. All right, reveal. Begin with Lizzie. Lizzie gets 15. All right. Brittany on this pattern scored 13, meaning Lizzie wins immunity. Safe from the vote. Coming up, Lizzie, your immunity. There you go. You cannot be voted out. You are guaranteed a spot in the final 4. As for the rest of you, one of you will become the next person voted out and the next member of the jury. All right, y'all head back to camp. See you in a little bit.
I'm feeling amazing. This was a need to win because at this point, Drew is telling me he has an idol. Drew has said he would take me and Asia to the final. Brittany has said she would take me and Lauren to the final. Lauren has said she would take me and Asia to the final. So right now, I'm in everyone's final 3. So this was also the ideal one to win. And I get to kind of stand back and like let that happen.
Oh, if I could have won that, that would have been so nice. I was so close, but no cigar. Currently, there's a lot of just scrambling going on. Drew has something. I know it. Kind of made sure everybody else knows it. Maybe this is my thing. If I figure out you have an idol, I just kind of tell everybody. So vote Asia out. Then me, Lizzie, and Lauren. There's 3 of us. Then we could vote Drew out.
How are you feeling?
I don't know. Are we still in Asia? Is that for sure plan?
Yeah, I love it.
Do you think Asia's on board? Are you sure Asia's on board?
Yeah, I will talk to her just to double check.
I think I'm okay with Asia. I really think she's not lying to me, but like, I don't know. Her and Drew seem super buddy-buddy. I really think me and Lizzie is the best outcome for all of us.
And I see what you're saying. Like, I see what you're saying. Brittany was telling me about how she saw Drew grab something during the challenge with the balls. There was a ball that had a ton of words on it, and he had mentioned something about it to her, and then the next time she looked, it was gone. I really didn't think anything of it, because I was like, yeah, because some of the challenges had a ton of words in them. But, you know, she's very on edge, and now is the time I feel that Drew and Brittany feel the most pressure, so I feel like I can get the most information out of them.
So I think it's up to you. Like, if you want to take Asia, like, take Asia. Like, do what you want.
Mm-hmm.
But
I know, like, you and I, we both have our own ways of getting to the end. Like, that's...
yes, but I think Asia would get more votes in the end. If I was sitting on that jury, I think it'd be hard for me not to vote for Asia. We're surviving, we're thriving, and we'll see what happens. There's a lot of little chit-chatting going out there, so I need to go walk into some more conversations.
Right now, everybody's talking about getting Drew out and it being all girls. I'm not super comfortable with it because I feel like between me and Brittany, she might be able to convince them to vote me out when it goes down to 3, and that's a little nerve-wracking. I feel a little bit more comfortable with Drew.
Hey, rub right into your eye. You literally have a dead bug underneath your nose, right there. Do you want me to get it? I should just got it. Okay, here we go.
Thanks. I have a hidden immunity idol hidden in my shorts, so we're good on that front. My concern is I feel like the next immunity may decide if I win the game or if I get voted out by an all-girls alliance. So I need to convince them that they should take me if I don't win. But what I really wanted to do, because I felt like Lizzie and I at the thing to talk about a potential jury with you, is I wanted to be able to talk to you and Lizzie, and hopefully I have immunity myself by winning the challenge, and then basically be able to say, like, I will give it to one of you to, like, lock in us as a 2, because then, like, I'm basically sacrificing my chance at immunity to give you immunity, and I'm trusting that the 3 of us with my advantage can make it through, and then we have a solidified 3 going into the 4.
I don't know what I'm doing. I need to talk to them.
I'm a little confused on where everyone is standing. I mean, it's between Brittany and Drew. I just don't know which one it's going to be. I'm going to try to talk them into sticking with Drew.
My thing is, his vote is gonna go to Brittany until it will matter.
He's played so honest with me so far that I have no reason to doubt his word. That being said, I think that we should vote for him.
I don't know if Brittany has been being honest, especially with, like, she wanted her, Davis, and Steven, like that whole thing. I'm gonna be honest, I would be more comfortable with Drew going to council.
Over Brittany.
I'm just so nervous. I don't know how they're gonna vote. Because in the eyes of some of the jury, Brittany has led.
Right. No, I agree.
I trust you have an idol. I have immunity. So we have immunity. So it's really, we're the only 2 guaranteed here next week. So, like, ideally we vote together.
To me, I'm so concerned about all 3 girls.
There's an argument for each.
The thing is if it's balanced endurance, Brittany's gonna rock me.
I know. She's gonna rock me.
Ideally. I love working with Brittany, but if I am thinking game-wise, if she goes, I'm the only villain left, do we still put on Drew and I let Drew get his hands dirty, though?
Honestly, like, Drew, get him out now, yeah, but also, like, Asia, like, if I was on the jury and Asia was up, like, I'd have a hard time not rooting for Asia.
She battled her facts.
Yes, and I, like,
and then she, like, flopped it all down.
Yes, and I was like, she I think she has a lot of allies on the jury. Like, I don't think she has many enemies on the jury. Lizzie is the person I trust the most out here. And I think I've told her I'd take her, which if that's true, I would.
And I just like, no, I'm saying like, you either need to talk to her or Asia while I talk to Drew. Okay. While I have Drew busy, you need to get one of them on our side.
Because I'd love to say, I'll take Brittany in the end, but like, resume-wise, Brittany will beat me. So selfishly, I would love it if Drew was like, I have an idol, and I put my vote on Brittany, and she's out, because then I don't have to turn against her, and she still goes out. So, I think I've set myself up nicely to be in every final 3, and so hopefully getting this, I think was a pivotal time, because I can get on the conversations now, to then either like solidify or to use to my advantage with that knowledge for this next one.
Shocking. You chose somebody else. You could do what you want.
Percentage chance you would work with me.
Option choices I've heard are you and me.
Here's the real question. If I were to do that, I feel like right now we're sitting in a situation where either of us is basically guaranteed the odd man out on the floor. The thing is, if you think that they're going to for one vote me, for one vote you, then I can vote for you. And then we could just agree, like a gentleman's agreement, that if one of us wins immunity, we just deadlock the vote. Brittany's a target we've been after for a while. But at the same time, if somehow she skates this one, I feel like I can convince people to go for her on the next one.
Alright, we'll now bring in the members of the jury. Garrison, Crystal, Aaron, Hedge, Taylor, Davis, and Steven voted out at the last tribal council. Here we are, the final 5. Lauren, I want to hear about that challenge. What went down? Are you comfortable not having won that challenge?
I wish I had been better in these challenges post-merge. I feel like I wanted my challenge, like how I do in the challenges, to be better than my previous game, and I started out strong and I feel like it just hasn't been where I wanted to be, so it was very frustrating that you were literally just telling me to draw X's on an expo board and I still lost that. Like, really? So I don't love that, but it's fine. It's all good. I'm trying my best out here.
But Brittany, what does the vote come down to at the final 5?
I think it comes down to who you're comfortable sitting next to at the end, and who you think you can stand a chance with. So I think that's should be the biggest consideration in this decision.
Obviously, a big part of this is who you want to sit next to in the final 3, but there's also another vote after this one before that even becomes a reality. So how much of this vote is also ensuring that you're set up to get to the final 3?
Yeah, I think there's some of that. It's about like figuring out not only who would work with me, but who can I ensure is there that somebody else won't want to work with. Like you want there to be like a person that you guys can agree on, like this is somebody that I don't want to be sitting next to in the end. I'm the lone brochacho left, so hopefully it's not a girls guys thing.
So a lot of this game after the merge has been strictly based on voting blocks, and alliances shift every single round. The person you were against last time might be working with you this time. So now they're at the final 5. Is there anything solid, or is potentially anyone going home right now?
I mean, I think that there's definitely, just because of the way that the game got played a little earlier on, I think that now
in this final 5, there's certain people who had a plan and that's still ongoing.
Lizzie, so you are sitting there with that immunity necklace. Do you think that that was necessary for you to have right now, or do you think it gives you any more sway than you would have otherwise had?
I think it's a sway because it is so up in the air right now, because this is the last time obviously like anyone could play in Idol or anything like that, so I think it's very up in the air on like people are trying to work through every possible scenario, every possible contingency plan. This was kind of a must win in that way, and it's also like I'm the only for sure right now that I guess I'll say is the final 4, so it puts me into a little bit more conversations when I'm the only person that they can really talk with strategically, that for sure they know if it, like we are working on something together, like I'm gonna be here to actually follow through with it.
With that, it is time to vote. Lizzie, you're up.
I talked with Brittany about the potential of me saving her if she would walk into a final 2 with me. And I kind of wanted to do it because I feel like the 4 girls are all pretty aligned against me at the moment.
Sure. I would like to work with you if you do what we talked about.
I'll go tally the votes. Alright, if anyone has a hidden immunity idol and you'd like to play it, now would be the time to do so. I know where this has been, I don't want to touch it. That is a real hidden immunity idol. Drew, who are you playing it for?
Myself.
Alright. All votes cast against Drew will not count. Drew does not count. Brittany. Brittany. The 18th person voted out of Survivor and the 8th member of jury, Brittany. Brittany, bring your torch. Brittany, try to spoke. Here you go. Final 4, congratulations on making it this far in the game. Unfortunately, you have one more decision to make. Better make it wisely. Alright, y'all head back to camp.
I am sad I got voted out, but I was super tired, and so I think I hustled the entire time. To be quite frank, I have no idea how I'm still here.
I have to hear the numbers.
I think I played a good game, and I'm excited to see who wins. I will say I think they might have chosen the wrong choice to take forward, but we'll see when it comes to votes later.
Drew, I'm really hoping that you stick to the plan. I have no idea what y'all talked about, but you look so sad out there right now. You're fine. This is the plan.
I think Asia's gonna win it all. They're gonna try to take all 3 of the girls to the finale, and the more you think about it, Asia, I think she has my vote even to win. Came back from the bottom and is now back at the top, and just flipped when it's important. So yeah, I think they might have made the wrong choice keeping her in.
But she kind of strong-armed me into saying if I do that, I have to vote out Asia, which I think tells me that her ideal final 3 is the 3 girls that don't include Asia. So I think I need Asia in the game. So I think I have to shoot Brittany here. Asia is willing to lock a vote on my behalf.
I had a lot of fun, and it was a great time hanging out in the wilderness with a lot of friends, and so sorry anybody I backstabbed and voted off. I love you all dearly.
Yeah, the only thing that could have made it weird is if for some reason...
If we had voted you and voted each other, but you were like, we're good.
No, I'm fine there. I do feel like the 3 girls are so tight that I'm nervous that it's kind of like... I voted Brittany. I don't want to go against Brittany in anything that's like stability or endurance, because she already proved that she would last a long time in that. And I'm pretty much 100% sure that if I lose this immunity, I'm gone.
So tight. It's literally been doing that since the beginning. So next is Drew. Drew's out of here.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think, but I mean, it's a matter of like, if those two, that's not the case, then they want to deadlock vote.
I think what makes me feel really good, thank goodness we had a long 45-minute conversation with Asia at the beginning.
This was great. It was.
I know.
So fun. We're the 3.
No, we're the 3. I can't wait to see you all on jury.
I'll see you.
I don't think that Asia feels more loyal to me.
No.
At all. I feel like I'm pulling the strings. I feel like I've been lying to everybody lately, which I don't normally do in my gameplay. And for some reason it hasn't bitten me in the ass yet, which I find crazy. But I also feel like they still don't see me as a threat. Like, I always feel like I'm on the bottom still. But I feel like I'm playing a good game, and I think I'm gonna make it to the final jury and I'll be able to state my case.
And it's likely not memory. It's likely not.
I think it'll be something endurance.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not endurance, it's balance. Hopefully it's just like endure this pain.
Okay.
I'm just saying that because I have torn ligaments in both ankles. So 4 months ago, I was on a run and I literally just wasn't paying attention to the sidewalk, and I rolled my right ankle on a gap in the sidewalk and tore ligaments in this bad boy. I've done it twice in the same ankle, and this leg just kind of sucks. It wouldn't just be pain, it would be like my ankle physically shaking.
It seems like Drew is kind of seeing where the cards are. I don't think he saw them laid out on the table, and now he's starting to see them. He doesn't seem as trusting or as open as he's always been in this game. So I'm gonna see what I can do with that, how I can work with that, because if he wins immunity, I'm still gonna need him.
That's crazy that he found that and that he stuck it down his drawers.
I mean, obviously, I don't like. My only hope is that if I don't win this next one, it doesn't become like a Lizzie. We're gonna take the 3
He's not winning.
original heroes team.
I really don't think that there's any confusion at all. It really just depends on what I want. He cannot get it. He cannot. He can't.
I'm so curious what this challenge is. Like, he can't win, but if he does, okay, well, guess we're giving him the $750 now. Every conversation at this point is, it should, like, you gotta take everything with a grain of salt right now, because the minute an immunity happens, like, everything will change, and that's when the real conversations will happen.
The fight is almost done. The line between hero and villain has been blurred.
I think I just have to pick one person to align with and see if I can tether myself to them and build trust.
The last challenge is truly going to boil down to who wants it the most.
I think it has to be Asia. I think for the most part, like, she likes to make big things happen, but she plays an honest game. The only thing I can do to ensure that Asia would be on my side is guarantee that if I win immunity, that I'd be willing to deadlock the vote to keep her in.
But first, a visit to your fallen comrades.
Okay. Let's go. ...
Abby. This one felt mean. This one felt really mean. Abby was a fun player. I enjoyed playing with her.
I'm sorry, Abby. I know we convinced you not to use your idol, but you were a really good player. We knew that was the only way we were gonna get you out. It was nice to play. It was nice to talk with you.
Convinced her not to use an idol?
Yeah.
You have a whole other side to say to
that y'all don't know
okay,
about.
I thought you were saying in crazy. I was like, wait, what?
Y'all don't know about it.
Oh, yeah. Brendan. You were sneaky boy from the beginning, and we knew it.
Left coming for me hard.
Yeah, I know your secrets now that I'm out of old Themis over there, but it's okay, no bad blood. I enjoyed playing with you so much. I love that when you came over, like, I actually got to play with you, especially after last season. It was a lot of fun.
Like, we worked so well there for the first 2 votes, and like I wanted to work with you till the end, and it was not working out numbers wise. But it was so much fun to play with you.
I know, I'm sad we didn't get to play together this season. Redemption, it could have been.
Fun to play with.
I know. Alex!
You're so quiet. You're so mysterious.
Coming in as like a winner, I feel like he was the winner everyone knew like least about.
Unfortunately, you're a little too trusting, and that's how you ended up getting out, but yeah, I don't think you deserve to be on the village.
Yeah, Alex, you're a hero in our hearts.
Yeah, hero in my heart. Nice guy when I met him.
I know, I'm so sad we didn't get to play together this season. Bryce,
I wish that the Alliance could have stayed like last time. Would have been great. You're just a little too sneaky.
My wife probably sleeps closer to the door in our master bedroom now because she doesn't think I can protect you anymore after what you did to me with that tire, so.
Yeah, dude, you didn't even really technically get voted out. You know, that was an accident.
Kirkland Brand. Nicest guy on the planet. I'm gonna move to Atlanta.
oh my gosh, so much fun to play with you. I'm so glad I got to play with you.
So sad I never got to play with him because everyone, all they did was talk. So they were like, "Oh my gosh, Kirk's so much fun. Like he's so good."
So nice.
They're like, "He's such a nice guy." I was like,
I love it.
Jonathan. J-Ross! Always my dog.
he was too big of a threat, and I think people were more willing to work with Bryce than him.
No, amazing guy to play with. A loyal guy to play with.
Oh yeah.
Big time Alliance guy.
He told me every time my name was brought up.
Lucas, I wanted you to make the merge, so that was your goal, and I'm sorry that it was our fault that you did.
Well, it was because we lost the challenge. We did want you in
We
with
wanted to have
us.
6.
Absolutely, and I feel like working with you was really fun. I'm sorry it had to end early. Garrison,
that's my fault. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You should have been here. You're my homie. I'll never forget you. I appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
My day 1, number 1, and he went home because he wrote my name down.
That's wild.
I'm just excited to see all of his commentary.
But he got caught in a 3-way tie trying to show his loyalty to you by voting for me, which is the most confused vote I still haven't figured it out.
I know, I was gone for that. Loved working with you.
Oh yeah, that was your guys' chaotic vote that we came back from.
Yes.
Was in fact.
This one was also a chaotic vote.
Yeah,
Crystal.
you know I love you. Always and forever. My homegirl.
It was chaos.
It was chaos and drama, and
yeah.
we all just wanted out of it.
I know, truly. That was a wild tribe to enter into.
Too big of a threat, girl. You're too good. Too good at your job.
Too good. Aww, I feel so bad about this one. She wasn't supposed to go. She literally
You weren't supposed to go.
played her idol for someone else. You were not supposed to go. Like,
You're a hero.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to be on villains. You're a hero for that,
you were
Aaron.
so sweet. You were such like a down for the group thing where you were like, I will play this idol like wherever we as a group want to play it. Love you. Sorry.
Hedge. Another one who left using her idol on someone else.
Right?
It's
It
literally
just kills.
crazy.
It kills.
2 in a row. Paige, you were such a hero for this. Keeping Taylor and then you sacrificed yourself. That was crazy.
She was a villain for letting me look for the idol in the barbed wire for 2 hours. And 5 minutes. I'll say that.
Oh my
That
gosh.
was a villain move.
Still a hero in my heart. Healer. You're too good of a player, dude. That was, I mean, that's the gist of it. You were
literally a beast.
I loved working with you. I'm sorry I switched it up, but it was truly so I could go further because I knew you would dominate.
Davis, I loved your chaos. It was so good. He's so fun to play with. Like, he's always scheming or finding an idol, and I just think he keeps it interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how you had so many. Maybe it just feels like you had so many hours, but it feels like you had 12. Steven, I'm sorry. This is again. You were just looking a little too threatening, dude. I mean,
you were looking
your
good with all the challenges.
You started winning a few too many challenges.
Yeah, your individualism, the playing of both sides, it was just a little sketchy. I'm so sorry. I wanted you to win. I know how much you love Survivor.
I loved playing with you again.
Next time, don't tell people you practice the challenges with your kids.
Yeah. And our last one, Brittany. Brittany, you were fighting till the end. You were fighting till the end. You were scrappy, and I love it. I love it. She thought of like everything that she could say.
Yeah, the social strategic game was amazing.
Forever a friend. I'm really glad we got to play together this week.
She was amazing.
Come on in, guys. All right, welcome Final Four to your final immunity challenge. For the last time, immunity is back up for grabs. Win this challenge, you're guaranteed a spot in the final three where you get to plead your case to the jury. First things first, Lizzie, I'll take it back. Thank you. Here's how this challenge is going to work. Behind you are 4 pairs of blocks. This challenge is extremely simple. You're going to stand on the blocks for as long as possible. Water is going to be sprayed at you consistently. If at a certain point that I have determined the challenge will be going on too long, we will transition to 1 foot. All right, everyone stand on your blocks. I'm gonna count you down and the challenge is on. 3, 2, 1. Honestly, the water might feel good.
I'm gonna fall off if I keep my eyes open, but I'm gonna lose a contact if I...
Lizzie's right. It was a test of balance. Lizzie is the first one out. Lauren has some close calls. She almost falls off, but she saves it. Everyone's trying to shield their faces from the water. Drew's hat is helping him out. These blocks are narrow, but this is the challenge you want to win to guarantee your spot at the end.
This feels like public shaming or something.
Everyone looking steady. Eventually someone's feet are gonna start hurting. Drew taking an interesting posture. Drew tries standing up straight.
I'm looking at you guys again.
You have 3 original heroes battling it out for the final immunity. We will stay like this for 30 more seconds. Okay, I am going to count you down into standing on 1 foot. This is going to be a live transition, so if you fall off at any point during the transition, you are out of the challenge. I'll count you down from 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone makes the transition. This is exponentially more difficult. Lauren with a nice save. Drew with a nice save. He's wobbling. Asia looking steady but concentrating. Remember, your foot cannot touch the ground or you're out. Wow. Dang, Lauren almost saved it. Lauren is out of the challenge. Asia drops. Drew won the final immunity challenge.
Good job, Drew. Sorry, breakdown.
Well, now, what do I do now?
Congratulations, Drew. Come on up, get your immunity. What is that?
There's 1 left.
All right. Drew, you have guaranteed your spot in the final 3 and the chance to plead your case to the jury. As for the rest of you, one of you will become the final member of the jury and will be out of the game. All right, I'll give you some time back at camp and then I'll see you at Tribal.
I honestly thought that they were gonna go for like 10 minutes, and I was already dancing 30 seconds in. So this isn't really where I thought I would be. I think that I've played the game a lot more than people think I have, and that I think I've played a good social game when I needed to, because they've had a lot of opportunities to take me out. I've received a lot of votes throughout the game, and every time I feel like there was 1 or 2 pivotal people that were in play that were able to keep me in. And so I think I just made the right connections at the right times, and that's what I hope wins me the game.
Oh man, good job. That was. Why did they do that to us? That's so weird.
I don't understand why I had to be waterboarded.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I'm just pissed. I thought I had that one in the bag. I'm like, small feet, small blocks. I can do this. Balance. I used to do dance. Like, can do this for days. I think you squirt water in my face. Like, are you kidding? It's going up and down. That was hard. Drew winning was so unexpected. The way he told me before, like, if it's a balance thing, I'm not gonna do well. And I was like, okay, that's perfect, so then I'll probably win. And then he ends up winning it. I mean, I guess that's just how the game of Survivor goes. Why? Like, now I'm cold and wet. Shane, like, what the hell? What was that? Initially, I wanted it to be me, Asia, and Lizzie, but now that's not happening. But while we were doing the tribute walk, we would talk about each one of the players, and almost all of them, it was just like, you and I were so close, we were so close, but we worked so well together. I wish we could have worked more. That makes me really nervous going into Final Tribal. It seems like you have a lot better relationships with most of these jury members than you were initially leading on. Okay, I'm just thinking strategy-wise. When we were doing the tribute thing for all the other players, It was making me nervous how you were real when we were so close. I didn't know that about so many people. I was like,
Asia had something to say about everyone. Even ones where like I wouldn't have, all the villains that were voted out that she wouldn't even worked with because she saw them all on that challenge thing. And she just had something like to say about everyone. And so I'm like, oh, if you're this close with everyone, then you're not also like a strategic that you're a good social threat, and maybe even more of a social threat than Drew, because Drew didn't really say anything about anyone, but that might have been part of his strategy. So at this point, I'm just crossing my fingers, and what's gonna happen is gonna happen.
Like I feel like she had something to say about every person. Like and like Drew did it. We were close. Drew did it. No, I was like, which is like first I want to play the social game. Like I'm not as worried about a social game here. Unless you just really bad village. Yeah.
Here's the thing that I wanted to say before we did the trial, and I said this into the camera, and I know the camera doesn't watch, but I'd like to think the audience knows I have a good soul. What I had said is I felt that you came back into the game and you stayed with me, even though we had fought against you. And you, when you played to mix things up, but when you did that, you talked to me. What I was going to tell you before was I was going to try to make a I'm in your court deal, where if I won, I would be deadlocked to vote for you. And if you were to be willing to deadlock to vote for me to give me a chance, I won, but I'm going to deadlock to vote for you. I'm rocking with Asia because she was my number one. I didn't have time to tell her that before we went to the challenge, but I feel like she's been the most honest with me, so I'll vote with Asia, and then I'm willing to deadlock it to keep her in the game.
So you want me to move first? I'm asking you have all the power.
I'm saying, I'm saying that before we even played the game when it was a 4.
Yeah.
I felt like if I had to, when my life was on the line before I'm just like picking my final 3, put my life in somebody's hands, it was going to be yours.
Talk to Drew, and I think that I am on his team. And then I also like it's one of the guys like who really played the game. You know,
Like that's kind of why
Lizzie plays the game pretty hard. Lauren's been like pretty social.
I think that the better person to keep in would be Lizzie, Drew-wise, but also like me, Lauren, and Drew, even though they literally voted me out the very first round, we literally had a conversation about like us playing together and things like that. So it's a little bit nostalgic too, of like us 3 being the final 3.
Who do you want to come with us? Who do you want to stay?
I have no idea.
Alright. We'll now bring in the members of our jury. Garrison, Crystal, Aaron, Paige, Taylor, Davis, Steven, and Brittany voted out at the last tribal council. Alright, so Asia. After you back from the challenge, there's not much time to make decisions. So what does everyone do? Are you splitting off in pairs? Basically, we're trying to speed date with everyone?
Yeah, that's pretty much what we did. There wasn't a ton to discuss, obviously. I mean, there always is, but that sounds terrible. That's not what I'm doing. I just meant there's only 4 of us. Just with Drew having immunity, like he kind of just has all the power right now on who's coming to 3rd. I mean, we all obviously want to go to final 3.
Drew. So talk to me about that challenge. Do you think that was a necessary game for you?
Yeah, I think I was in trouble if I lost. I think I maybe would have been a pretty easy vote there. So I really did think that I was the only person who was going to think of the wait till 10 seconds to pick up my foot strategy. And I've never experienced more panic than when they both also thought of that strategy. But bless the ankles and the amount of time that they lasted on that block. So feel good.
So Lizzie, you are the lone villain left in the game. Do you think at this point, it makes you kind of an easy target?
Yeah, I mean, I think kind of going into this, we knew, I kind of knew it was a gamble when Brittany went that I was an easy kind of get out, but it's also the flip side of if you're trying to differentiate your game when you get to the final 3, it's really easy to differentiate against someone that you literally had no votes with and you didn't work with at all for the first half of the game because you guys weren't together. Like, there's nothing that you do that I can be like, well, actually, I was in on that too. So that's kind of the only pitch I have is if you're trying to be able to take credit for something, like, I'm an easy person to take where you're not going to be fighting for those votes.
Lauren, so what is your individual vote based on this vote? There's no more idols. All it is social and strategic play.
My vote is based on how I can get myself to the top 3 based on the conversations I've had. Obviously, we all know Drew holds a lot of power right now. I think any of these people for a top 3 would be great, but I just want to be in it.
Okay. That is time to vote. Lauren, you're up.
Oh my gosh, this is so stressful. It's either you or me.
I made a promise to Asia that I would deadlock to keep her in the game.
Surely people aren't scheming anymore, but you never know.
I'll tally the votes. All right, the votes. Asia. Lizzie. Asia. 2 votes Asia, 1 vote Lizzie, 1 vote left. Lizzie. We have a tie. What this means is we will re-vote. You may only vote between Asia and Lizzie. Asia and Lizzie, you will not vote. If we tie again, Asia and Lizzie will go to a fire making challenge.
I'm locked in. Okay. So I think if you're trying to send them to fire, then they're gonna have to go to fire. But,
Do you guys want to make fire? I'll make fire.
But I'm locked
If that's
in.
what it needs to come to.
Yeah, I mean,
I
obviously I know it's like an easy. No, I'm asking if you don't want. Yeah, I'll make fire. Obviously I know it's an easy like flip over. You kind of knew where they stood. It's easy for you. You know he's locked in, so you know it's deadlock unless you go with her. But it also puts you in as you're kind of willing to. They've deadlocked in as their 2, and you're willing to kind of just go along with it. I'd like to at least have a fighting chance with it. It proves that you were willing to go against them. You were willing to flip the script on me and at least deadlock it. I'd appreciate it if you would kind of do that deadlock one more time for me, but I understand that it's kind of easy at this point right now to go with it.
I have dinner plans. Might hit the road.
It's good either way.
Lauren, you can hear it.
Yeah, I just need a second. I'm just trying to think of who's on the jury and who would vote for who. I don't think Lizzie's getting many votes her way, but I think that Asia would get a lot. And if I'm gonna be in the final 3, I'd rather
I'd rather be sitting next to Lizzie. I don't even know, this is just the decision I've come to.
Loyal to the end.
I'll go tally the votes. I'll read the votes. Lizzie. "19th person voted out, and the 9th and final member of the jury, Lizzie. Lizzie, bring your torch. Lizzie, tribe has spoken. Time for you to go. Congratulations to you three. You have made the final three. You have gone as far as you can go in this game. Now the power shifts into the hands of the jury, who will be deciding the winner of this game. I'll give you some time back at camp to think of what you're going to say to them, and I'll see you back for your final tribal council. Head on out.
You know, I was at least like, I was hoping Lauren would stick with like the flip, because it would have at least put something on her resume too. It was like, hey, I'm willing to like keep this in a deadlock and let us like do some sort of challenge. Like, and I think it was just telling that I was willing to do that, and Asia wasn't. Honestly, it was so much fun. I thought I was gonna be out forever ago. I'm roommates with Abby. Abby was the last person voted out onto the jury last season, so like I'm gonna go home and we can bond about it and we can trauma bond. It'll be phenomenal.
You fought hard. Heroes have become villains. Not us, though. Villains have become heroes. Now it's time to crown the true all-star of Survivor.
The very first conversation the three of us had was about how we like wanted to make it to the end. It would be good. So I can't believe that the three of us made it to the end. That's actually crazy.
One more activity for us to do.
I'm really excited. I'm also nervous just to have made it this far. Truly out of my hands. I'll sell myself the best I can, but it's really all up to jury, what they think, how they perceive me. Really just starting from the beginning. I got out in the very beginning from no fault of my own, simply because I was picked out of the litter as a first vote out because no one knew me, and now I'm back. I fought my way back and I'm in the top 3, and I think that speaks for itself.
I think that it'd be so cool. This is season 6 of Survivor, and there's never been a girl to win. I think Asia's a strong player. I think I'm a strong player, so I would rather have 2 strong girls making their case of why they deserve jury votes. To be quite honest, I hate this part so much. I do not like speaking in front of people. Oh, I'm getting nervous. I'm like, can you just show them this and then like they vote or whatever? I don't play like a mastermind kind of player. I think my biggest pitch to the jury is I definitely had strategy. There was not a single vote that I did or was a part of that I didn't think was going to benefit my game. It was not, I think especially after the merge, I really came into my own. It was not just, oh, y'all told me that name, I'll just vote for that. It was me creating my own strategy, creating my own alliances, people that I trusted because I was the one making connections. I think my biggest thing is it goes back to the heroes versus villains theme. This season I feel like I played more like a villain. I just played a selfish game, which we should all be playing a selfish game to get ourselves to the end. And I'm sorry that didn't mean that I always aligned with you or that I had to get you out at a certain point, but that's what got me here, and that's why I'm the one in the final 3. So I'm playing the game I wanted to play.
I think some people are going to feel burned by decisions. Some people are going to want to know why they got voted out or why I had conversations the way I did towards the end of the game, and it's just a matter of getting them to see my strategy and getting them to see that I was loyal to the end. I don't think I'm going to sit here and say that I've won the game or that I think I've won the game. Who knows? The jury, I've watched some seasons of Survivor, and sometimes the jury's bitter, or sometimes the jury just doesn't see the world the way that you do, in terms of you may think something was really strategic and they may not think it has any logic to it. I think there's a lot of weight in loyalty and sticking with the people I've been with. I think there's a lot of value in moving at the right time and being willing to be flexible. And then you also have to remember that you're never just answering the person who's asking, but you're answering to the jury as a whole. Because if somebody has already made up their mind, it's more important to keep the remaining jurors than it is to try to sway somebody who's already fixed. I still plan on reading Desiring God by John Piper. It just will not be this weekend. My mentor may be disappointed in that.
Alright, I will now bring in the members of the jury. Garrison, Crystal, Aaron, Paige, Taylor, Davis, Steven, Brittany, and Lizzie voted out as the last tribal council. Lauren, Drew, Asia, I'm going to give you a minute to give an opening statement to the jury, telling them why you should be the sole survivor over the two people sitting next to you. The floor is yours.
Hey everybody, good to see y'all again. Starting this game, I definitely wanted to go into it with more strategy. I know I said during my pre-interview, I wanted to make more strategic alliances to help my game and not necessarily just follow a vote and be better in challenges. I started out the gate pretty well with the challenges. I won 2 individual immunity challenges and then helped with our tribe to win a few more. Thankfully, I found a pretty solid alliance within our tribe. We were a core 5 and we really stuck loyal to each other. There are a few times that I thought about leaving the core 5 to see if that would help my game, but ultimately it ended up being the 5 of us. I'm glad that we stayed loyal to each other. I feel like at the merge, I don't know, it was almost like, oh my gosh, I forgot I have free will and I want this to be my game, and how am I gonna get myself to the end? So every decision after that was strategic on my end of who am I gonna vote with, or who am I gonna vote for, whose name am I gonna put out there to get me to the end. But I think ultimately, I'm just glad I played a selfish game for me. And I don't know if that makes me a villain. It feels like I'm a villain because I'm being selfish and not heroic, but I'm so glad I did the things I had to do to be here right now.
Hey guys, well said. I think I had a lot of fun in the OG season of Survivor that was here, season 1. I found 2 idols. I blindsided one of my closest allies, but that only got me to 9th, and that was because people knew I had idols, people knew I blindsided others, and so I lasted 2 votes of everybody putting their names on me, and then I didn't have that 3rd idol, and looks like I would have needed 7 more. And so when Ned asked me the question when I first got here of what does it take to win in this game, my answer was restraint, because I love the game of Survivor and I love to play the game of Survivor, and it's so hard for me to be in a comfortable majority of friends when I'm oh, but I took PTO to come vote people out and play the game of Survivor, but things seem warm and comfortable. And so I think that was a stretching point for me of how do I find people that I can stay strong with but know the time that it takes where you have to move. I think my game shows that there's a way you can be loyal in this game. We had a core 5 and I never wrote any of their names down. I never flipped, even the point where at 7 when they were voting Taylor, I was comfortable still voting with Taylor even though I knew it was going to be a 5-2. Because I was willing to stick to my guns there. I also think that there's like value in knowing when it's like worth being aloof a little bit. You know, like it's not the worst thing in the world when you play the social game and people think you're the one that thinks you're running the game and you're the one that nobody wants to talk to. But I think when we got past the Taylor vote to the final 6, I easily could have been at risk for each of those. And that was the time for me to step it up and turn on my game. And I had immunity the rest of the votes, so it wasn't an option. So I think I played a game where I proved you could be loyal. I used that loyalty as long as it lasted me. In majority, when things turned, I was able to hide in the grass a little bit and let the big dogs get voted out. And then when I became a big dog, I ate.
Hello. So my last season I played it pretty safe. So this time I came in wanting to play more strategically, more openly strategically. Unfortunately, I was voted off first, of course, all of you know that. And I was entered into the Themis tribe. And throughout that, like, that was super hard. It was way harder than any tribal I've ever been to, thanks to Ned's scheming. But like throughout that entire time, I was the second one there. But I managed to come out by factoring in all of the maybe immunity idols, all of the possibilities in the numbers, and still coming out of that. Going back to a tribe, going back into the game, I chose the right alliance, but unfortunately it looked like it was already predetermined what was going to happen. There was like very clearly a line of how things were going to go, and I didn't fit into that. So I made myself fit into that, and I swapped. And I formed a plan. That plan included, sticking to the people I needed to stick by. I played a game that proved if you want it hard enough, you can have it. I clawed my way back by not just tagging along with people, but by leading votes and being a deciding factor in votes and who was going home and who needed to stay, and having those tough talks.
Cool. Lauren, on that last vote, I think some of us were, at least I was, a bit confused on why you originally went with voting Asia and then decided to flip.
So yeah, simple answer about that last vote was there was a miscommunication, and Drew held a lot of power and we were talking. So I thought it's either me or Asia. So I'm gonna write down Asia, not me. So then when it was a tie, I thought, you know what? This is what Drew chose. I think that Asia has every right to be sitting here. So let's have it be the three of us.
Drew, I'm a little concerned that you may have lost some jury votes by bringing Asia with you. Can you explain to me why you chose to bring her instead of, in my opinion, your better chance to win by bringing the other two girls? And then Asia, along the same lines, would you have brought Drew with you to the end if you would have won immunity? And if so, why? And if not, why not?
I think there was a lot of factors that went into it. The one thing that I thought was interesting to Asia and I's relationship is obviously she was a unanimous vote out first. So then she had to come back to people that voted her out first, and she chose to do so. And I think that loyalty meant something to me. Also, during the Taylor vote, when Lauren flipped and when Asia flipped, Asia was the only one who came back to me right before the vote and let me know, like, hey, you're on the outside. Like, there's nothing we can do, but I want you to know that you don't really have a choice. And so I valued that was the only place that I was going to get information. And then I just spent some time with the camera before the 4. And I said, if I lose, I'm pretty positive that I'm out of this game. Like, I think it's going to be 3 girls versus me. I have to pick one person who I think has shown me the loyalty that I could go to before that challenge and say, hey, would you be down for, I win, I deadlock for you, you win, you deadlock for me, hopefully. We never got to find out if that would have happened. But when I went through the logic, Asia was the person that came up for me that made the most sense. I've played a loyal game so far. The other reason I had picked Asia was because I was already set on voting for Brittany when we talked in the grass back here. The reason I was going to vote Brittany was because I thought she had amazing balance and would do really well at what we played if it was an endurance challenge. But in my conversation with Brittany, what I was hunting for was, hey, if I'm willing to keep you in the game and we can deadlock a vote in the final four, like what would that look like for our final three? And Brittany's pushback to me was, if you do that, you need to vote out Asia, which made me feel confident that there was something happening with the other three, which is why I wanted to deadlock with Asia myself.
I'm gonna be honest, Drew, I'm very thankful that you were loyal. I wouldn't be here without it. After I got voted out, I've had trust issues this whole game. When I came back, I wanted to play, I wanted to win. And I honestly can't tell you. Like, I don't know what that would have looked like. Just because I feel like everything leading up to it was changing for me. I know strategically, like, he will likely still votes from me, but also just like who played the game too was important to me.
Okay, well, my question is for Lauren. Why do you feel like your game is stronger or better than these two right here if they're, working together in an alliance together? And then do you feel like your chance at winning would have changed if you hadn't gone against Lizzie?
I'm gonna be quite honest. I don't know. I can see why Asia is separate from the two of us. I don't know why y'all think that there's a huge difference in strategy between me and Drew. I feel like I have played a pretty strategic game. I'm the one who's telling people, as far as I knew, I was telling people names that we were working together post-merge. So I'm confused why there's like this perception that Drew is playing a better strategic game than I am, because from my point of view, that's not the case. So that's my case against Drew. I feel like, if anything, I think I played a better strategic game than he did. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay, my question is kind of piggybacking off of Lauren's answer, but for Drew and Asia, out of the two other people of the top three, who would you vote for? Who do you think would have played a better game, and why?
From my perception, honestly, it was a little bit on equal footing. Working with them, they both had difficult conversations with people, so I don't know that there's a clear winner there.
The separator for me is that when Asia came back into the game, she wanted to play the game. She wanted to start playing the game. And she flipped on a pivotal vote at a time that both tribes didn't know that she was going to do it. And so I feel like that was something that put her on a ledge. On the Taylor vote, which I think was Lauren's first time flipping, to me it seemed like it was more on like, I think the numbers are out of my hand, so I'm going to flip because now's the time. And so I just think I give credit to the one where it was like, this ignited the game.
All of you, at some point had alliances with people. So, but then all of you at some point had to, maybe lie or like backstab, or maybe you didn't have to do that. Do you think you did that in a respectable way, or in a way that was backstabbing that created, them to not be big fans of you?
I definitely feel like I did the most lying I've ever done in this game, which I'm really proud of myself for that. I don't like to lie, so I'm happy about that. Sorry. I felt so bad when I knew where the vote was going and someone desperately telling me, like, where is it going? Please tell me. Like, I'm thinking about Brittany right now. I'm thinking about Steven. I just didn't want to tell you, to be honest. I didn't want to have to deal with the flack. That is just my honest opinion, or my truth. I feel like I might have burned some bridges, and I'm sorry if I did. But I'm happy with the way I played my game. I really am.
I think there's something that I would consider like a strategic backstab, which is I am still working with my alliance, but if I'm going to stay in this game, I have to, even when I'm talking with the tribe that I'm not working with, if I'm going to give you an olive branch of information, I want to be selective so that olive branch is favorable to me. I think a good example of that was when we had Aaron and Davis, and we knew that Davis had something. We knew that there's a chance between, me, Taylor, Garrison, our group that was over there with you guys, that somebody may go home. The selective thing I did say is, when I'm talking to the two of you, hey, you guys should know that I'm the only person on our tribe when there has been split votes and hasn't been unanimous that's catching votes, because I was trying to ensure that if you guys were looking at me and Garrison when Taylor has immunity, that Garrison seems like the more strategic option and not me.
Honestly, backstabbing wise, I think I did a ton more of that over in the Themis tribe than I did when I got back in the game, just because there was no other choice because of the immunity idols. But I will say, back when I was in the tribe, the backstabbing that I did do, I never tried to overly make promises that I couldn't keep. There were a couple times, a couple people where I wanted to tell y'all, hey, it's gonna be you, I'm so sorry the numbers aren't with you, but got talked out of it because, no, I think they have the immunity idol, and that was just how it played out.
What is a prime example, especially post-merge, where you led a decision, kind of showing that you were the mastermind behind the way that tides might have shifted or changed, and just kind of how you drove that yourself?
I felt like I had most of the say, most of the influence of the pull. I had both Asia and Lizzie coming to me, who are we going to vote for? And I knew that I could pull Drew in as well. I think I had a lot of influence on our tribe from here on. And I don't think y'all really got to see that, but I'm trying to convey it, y'all. I'm really trying to convey it.
Part of the reason we formed this alliance of 4, which I think was a big strategic part of my gameplay, was that in the 7, I'm in real danger of being one of the next votes if I don't find footing in this game. And the place where I ended up finding footing was the fact that people felt like Brittany and Davis were up top, and Taylor, who had just gone home, was considered to be the person on top of our tribe. So the pitch became, hey, if you feel like you're in somebody's shadow, I clearly was in somebody's shadow if I was sitting next to the person who got voted most likely to be running the game, and I won most likely to think that they're running the game. So I understand that. How do we make it so that when we sit here, there's no shadows being cast on us? And so I think that's how we started to pitch the Davis is a threat, Brittany's a threat, Steven's a threat, to get to where we got to our 4.
This question, is for Asia. Going back to the page vote, what was your reasoning behind the flip? Was this a strategic move? Was this just a form of chaos?
So that vote, I did not know that I was going to do that. So I had been I came in new, obviously. I was already pretty tired of the tribes thing. There was just such clear lines. Everybody, it was ride or die for your tribe at that point, and I didn't fit anywhere into that. Not only that, but again, it was just so clear, everything was happening as it should. You tick off all of these people on this side, and then you start with the lowest on this side. We have these 3, they're going here. It was so obviously clear. I was still willing to play that way because it was safe. That it was not my plan. And then we sat here getting ready at Tribal, and Ned was asking us questions, and everybody just kept throwing out Villain Tribe and Hero Tribe, and we were literally at Merger. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't really want to do this anymore. And so I walked in there and made the decision there. I knew who you guys were voting for. It definitely wasn't for chaos. I knew that
could definitely have backlash. But at that point, like, what was the game worth playing if, like, there was no way to be strategic? You know, like, there was just nothing to do.
Congratulations to you all for getting here. After you've sat here for all these questions, I'm sure you've thought about your opening statement and how you would maybe reshape it. So what are some things you might add to it now that you've heard some perspectives? What would you add to it now?
Yeah, I think it'd be easy to kind of like put me in the box of like hung out in a majority, survived, and then just idled and played immunities to get my way through the last 3. But I think the other thing that I think was a powerful part of at least our initial tribe and our ability to come in with some unity, one of the reasons we kept our 5, is because the only vote that was fractured was a vote that was 3 votes against me. Every subsequent vote within our tribe was unanimous, which meant I was able to rebuild bridges with people that put my name down, and then we were able to vote together. And I think very similar things happened post-merge, where people wrote my name down or I caught votes and it seemed like I was on the edge. And I was able to be in an alliance with somebody like Asia, who almost put me out of the game.
If you don't get the vote today and you don't win, what do you think your fatal flaw was?
Looking around at the jury, I think I made really close relationships with the majority of y'all, and I'm sorry that I lied. Like, I'm sorry as a person, as me, Lauren, but in my game, I'm glad that I did that.
I feel like when I think about my game, I don't think about like a lot of hesitation. I feel like there's been some, like, even just up here so far, some wavering of like, I lied, but I didn't mean to lie, or I led votes, but I also asked the people that were voting who we should vote for. I feel like when I wanted to lead a vote, I did it in a very decisive way. So I don't think I have anything that I would necessarily take back. I would have maybe things that I would think, what if I could have been more decisive here so I could take more ownership of a vote?
I guess whether or not it was a lie, obviously there were final 3, like the reason I voted out Brittany is because there were final 3 talks where I was included. Because Lauren, you had for Lauren, you had pitched why you would want Asia out. So, and obviously it was a compelling enough argument that I believed it. So I kind of want you to now argue against your own words to me about why it didn't matter, everything that you said about how good she was and why you're better. And Drew, same lines. You had kind of told me, hey, I think me and Lauren's game is too similar, so I would take you over her. Argue against yourself now and why it still made more sense to keep Lauren.
I had aligned myself with Asia, and so it became a question to me of, does it make more sense for me to think that I was pivotal enough in R5 to win our votes, and then trust that, villains who are gamers vote for who they think played the best game, and then leave the villains as like open votes that we can go compete for, and I want to like have my chance to go win those votes? Or do I run the risk of, I potentially run the risk of losing votes because people vote based on tribal lines? And so eventually I just decided I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna bet on the fact that I can win my tribe. And when somebody doesn't have their tribe up here, they'll vote for who they think they played the best, and I'm gonna try to prove that I played the best.
No, yeah, we had that conversation right before the challenge of like, sorry, Drew, hopefully Drew doesn't win. Drew won. And then we had the same conversation after of like we just had this conversation. I'm gonna be truthful with you, and that is what it was.
Now it is time to vote. Remember, you are voting for a winner. All right, Lizzie, you're up.
You truly went from 0 to hero. You deserve it.
Drew, I went in
Totally planning to vote Asia, honestly, based on my perception of what happened in the game and the stories I heard from the jury. But you did exactly what I told everyone you would do when you got here, and you did it well. You deserve to win. You played a great game, man.
I'm so torn between Drew and Asia. I wish they could both win, but I think Asia kind of was the underdog from the beginning.
I think we all know who I'm gonna vote for.
I hope bringing Asia with you didn't make you lose the game.
For the last time, I'm gonna tally the votes. All right, well, before I get to the votes, thank you, Final Three. Thank you, jury, for a great game. Thank you, production, for all your help. This is truly impossible without y'all. So thank you to the Taylors for so graciously letting us your home. Well, without further ado, I will get to the votes. You want to hear your name this time. All right, first vote. Drew. Asia. Drew. Asia. Drew. Asia. 3 votes Drew, 3 votes Asia, 3 votes left. Drew. The winner of Survivor Lake Fork, Heroes vs. Villains, Drew. Y'all, thank you for a great game. So thankful for all of you for coming out. All right, you have to get home safe.